need you to trust me. One last time.
As it is well known, Ethan Hunt has been off the grid, hiding from the world while protecting something incredibly dangerous, a special key that can either destroy or control a powerful artificial intelligence known as the Entity. One day, he gets a secret message from Erica Sloan, who's now the president. She tells him that Gabriel is still alive and the Entity is more dangerous than ever. It's taken over cyberspace, spreading lies, turning people against each other, and even inspiring a strange cult that worships it. These cult members are quietly climbing their way into powerful positions around the world. Sloan warns Ethan that the only way to truly stop the Entity is to find its original source code. Without it, no one can predict what the AI will do next or how to beat it. But destroying the Entity comes at a massive cost. Doing so would wipe out the entire digital world, including communication systems, global finance, and more. It would be chaos. Ethan doesn't trust anyone with that kind of power, not even the government. He knows that if someone gets control of the code, they might use the Entity for their own gain. Sloan urges him to surrender, reminding him that time is running out. Then, the message self-destructs, leaving Ethan with an impossible choice: stay hidden, or risk everything to stop something that could end humanity. Ethan meets back up with his old friends, Benji and Luther. Together, they head to a prison in Austria to rescue a woman named Paris, who used to work with Gabriel. She's being transported by agents Jasper Briggs and Theo DeGasse. Ethan and Benji sneak into the prison and get into a short fight with the agents. But after explaining how dangerous the Entity is, they convince Jasper and DeGasse to let Paris go with them so they can try to stop it. The team travels to the US Embassy in London. Two agents recognize Ethan and try to arrest him. But Grace shows up at the last second, steals the agent's ID cards, and helps Ethan escape. She tells him that she was sent by Kittredge, the head of IMF. Just then, some of Gabriel's henchmen show up and knock out both Ethan and Grace with tranquilizer darts. Ethan and Grace wake up tied to chairs. Gabriel is there and starts talking about an old mission Ethan did to retrieve something called the Rabbit's Foot. He says it was actually an early version of the Entity, and Ethan gave it to the US without knowing what it really was. Gabriel mocks them and tells Ethan to go get the Rabbit's Foot from a sunken submarine called Sevastopol. Ethan, knowing Gabriel wants him alive, fakes a suicide using a cyanide pill. Gabriel panics and revives him, giving Ethan the chance to break free, fight off the guards, and rescue Grace. Ethan and Grace reunite with Benji, Paris, and DeGasse. They discover a big machine Gabriel uses to communicate with the Entity. Ethan climbs inside and connects to it. The Entity knows Ethan plans to destroy it using a special weapon Luther made, called the Poison Pill, which must be used with its main core, the Podkova. The AI tries to manipulate Ethan, showing him terrible images of nuclear war, and tells him to take it to the Doomsday Vault in South Africa where it can stay alive. Ethan splits off from the team to track down Luther, who is in danger. He runs through the streets, trying to get there in time. Gabriel has kidnapped Luther from the hospital and tied him up underground with a bomb. Gabriel also steals the poison pill. The bomb is powerful enough to destroy the whole city. Luther talks to Ethan one last time, and then the bomb goes off, killing him. Ethan survives and is found by Jasper, who arrests him and takes the key. While flying back to the US, Ethan reveals to Jasper that he knows his real name is Jim Phelps Jr., the son of Ethan's old mentor who turned traitor and was killed by Ethan. He says that the Entity is trying to turn Jasper against him too. Jasper listens but says they'll settle their own score after the mission is done. Ethan meets Kittredge, who explains that the Entity is already hacking into nuclear weapons around the world. Only a few countries have systems that haven't been breached yet. Ethan is brought in front of top military leaders, including General Sidney. They go over his past missions, like sneaking into a secure CIA vault and escaping the Kremlin bombing. Sloan arrives and tells Ethan she wants him to help them control the AI. But Ethan says no one should have that kind of power. He convinces her to let him go after the Sevastopol on his own before it's too late. Ethan is sent to a ship in the Northern Pacific, where he meets Admiral Neely. He gives her a note from Sloan with the date, May 22, 1996, on it. Neely knows the date is important. They both lost someone on that day during a mission in Siberia. She agrees to help and gets Ethan to the Bering Sea. His team plans to meet him at a specific time and location above the ice. Meanwhile, Benji, Grace, Paris, and DeGasse travel to St. Matthew's Island to visit William Donlow. Donlow used to work for the CIA but was moved after Ethan broke into the agency years ago. He now lives there with his wife, to Pisa. Benji is excited to meet him and can't hide it, which forces Grace to reveal why they're really there. Donlo admits he knows where the Sevastopol is, but warns them that the entity is involved. Suddenly, Russian mercenaries break into the house, also hunting for the sub. A gunfight breaks out. Donlo's home is destroyed, but the team saves him and Pisa. Ethan is dropped into the freezing waters of the Bering Sea and joins a team led by Captain Bledsoe. As Ethan prepares to dive, one of the team members named Hagar attacks him. Hagar is secretly working for the entity. The two fight underwater until another team member, Kodiak, knocks Hagar out, saving Ethan. The crew reaches the sunken Sevastopol and lowers Ethan into the wreckage. He finds dead bodies from the crew, still trapped inside since the sub was destroyed. Ethan locates the Podkova, but his actions cause the sub to shift and begin to sink deeper. He's forced to remove his suit to escape, but nearly drowns in the freezing water. Just as he's about to die, Grace finds him and pulls him out. Ethan wakes up in a decompression chamber. He speaks with Donlo and apologizes for the life he was forced into. But Donlo says he's happy, since he met Pisa because of it. The team plans their next step. They must connect the poison pill to the Podkova and upload the entity to a physical drive. But the timing has to be exact. Ethan believes Gabriel is already waiting at the Doomsday Vault, ready to take control of the entity. He gives Grace the job of handling the upload. Back in the US, Sloane and her team debate what to do. The entity is aiming at multiple cities. One plan is to nuke a city on purpose to stop a bigger disaster. Sloane picks a city, but at the last moment, decides to shut down all American nukes so the entity can't control them. A traitor in the room pulls a gun on her, but Sydney shoots him and gets fatally wounded. Sloane's orders are followed. The team arrives at the vault, where they find Gabriel, Jasper, and Kittredge waiting. In the center of the vault is a nuclear bomb set to explode in 20 minutes. Kittredge wants the poison pill and Podkova to give control of the entity to the US, but a fight breaks out. In the chaos, Gabriel steals the poison pill and escapes. Ethan chases him, while the others reach the server room. Benji gets shot, and Paris performs emergency surgery to save him. She then helps Grace complete the upload. Donlo, Pisa, and Degas stay behind to disarm the bomb. Gabriel escapes in a biplane. Ethan jumps onto another plane and follows. He fights the pilot, then chases Gabriel through the skies. Gabriel damages Ethan's plane, so Ethan jumps onto his. The two fight in midair. Ethan knocks Gabriel out and steals the poison pill. Gabriel makes fun of Ethan for not having a parachute, but then slips, smashes into the plane's rudder, and falls to his death. Ethan tries using a backup parachute, but it catches fire. Still falling, he manages to connect the poison pill and Podkova. At the vault, Grace finishes the upload right on time, trapping the entity. The others defuse the bomb and escape. Ethan's backup parachute finally opens, saving him. The poison pill plays a recorded message from Luther, saying he knew Ethan would save the world. He repeats the IMF's oath about living in the shadows to protect others, and gives a heartfelt goodbye. Ethan is found by Kittredge and Jasper. Kittredge is annoyed that the Podkova is damaged, but Jasper seems to forgive Ethan for the past, and they go their separate ways peacefully. The team meets again in London but stays spread out to remain hidden. Grace walks up and gives Ethan the drive holding the entity. Ethan looks at Benji, Paris, and Grace. They share one last silent moment together before quietly disappearing into the shadows, ready for the next mission.